This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're at Pro 8 Gym here in Rayleigh. Delighted to be joined by the one and only Mr. Nigel Benn. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing really well, mate. Yeah, doing really well. Just started a new training session where I'm actually going into weight training. And yeah, I can't use my arms. My arm's absolutely messed up. So as you saw me just doing all leg exercise, so I'm going to have 2 cortisone injections again. Because like if I listened to the doctor before, he said don't hit for 2 weeks. But because I felt like I got 2 brand new arms on, as soon as I threw the first punch, just on the pads with Don, the only way I can describe it, it felt like 2 eggshells cracking. And I just went back to the same. And in Tony, and I was meant to spar with Craig Richards on a Monday, and then all of a sudden, I just all of done a quick shimmy. That was it. And Tony said, no, you just got to pack it in, Nige. And that's it. And so now, my mindset, I still want to train, but now I'm going to do weight training now. I've got to change everything. And I'm excited about it because I've never done it before.
I do want to kind of just go back to last year because obviously it raised a lot of eyebrows when you announced that you were going to be making a comeback against Saka Bika, and everyone had their opinion about it. Yeah. You justified at the time why you needed to do it, and it was really down to kind of that closure in your life that you wanted, right? It wasn't for the money, it wasn't for kind of any kind of, you know, to win another fight. It's just you had demons that you needed to put to bed.
I'll tell you why the demons were. You've got to understand, when I was fighting, I was smoking 15 fags a day, doing spliffs, having little fellas all the weekend. Suffered with a lot of depression through my career and all that. And then when I had that encounter with Jesus, my whole life changed. No smoking, no affairs, everything. My whole life changed. And I started doing like a lot of riding, like Tour de France riding, and I used to wear the mask for like 2 years, and I was fit. And I remember I actually showed you the fitness level of them saying what I was like. And it wasn't like, it was Harley Street. It wasn't Back Street, it was Harley Street. I went there, mate, and they said like, you got the fitness of a fit 25-year-old. I would have been happy if they said 45-year-old. I thought, yeah, not too bad. 35, I said, don't be silly. But when they said 25, I thought, oh my gosh. But a bit more stronger words, if you understand. So I thought, well, I know I'm fit. But it was like me saying, God saying, you're not fighting. But I'm saying, yeah, of course I'm going to fight. God saying, you're not. I said, I am. And that's when he touched both of my shoulders, both of my arms went. And that's it. And it's not about money. I've been retired since. And it was so funny because it was like, I was saying to myself, oh, how am I going to earn money? Oh, how am I going to support my family? How am I going to do this? And for 2 days. But God was saying, stop being an idiot. You've been retired since November the 9th, 96. You've not worried about it. I've just built a lovely mansion out in Australia. Paid cash. My wife paid cash, not me. But you know what I mean? So it was like, I think, yeah, I'm okay. So do you understand? Because I had to come down because all my life from the time I left the army, all I knew was boxing. That's all I've ever done. And so it's like, you know, and it was like a shock. And I thought to myself, I'm going to cry. But no, it's like, I've had a great career. I remember I used to say to myself, I think I could be Southern Area champion. I might have a shot at the British. I might have a shot. Not to become 2-time world champion. I mean, unbelievable. And voted the best super middleweight in history by the WBC, along Joe Kawasaki. I know Conor saying, Dad, we've heard this all before. You're going to hear it again. And then inducted the Hall of Fame. And then in the Guinness Book of Records. What about that, son? Match it.
We saw the video that you and Conor posted out on your social medias and kind of explaining what had happened. And more to the point that, you know, this is now kind of done. So have you accepted that was now your closure? That replaced 100%. The other closure. This is now the closure.
100%. Yeah. I was nowhere on God's green earth will I get back in the ring. You know, and you know, there's a lot of people, and a lot of people didn't want me to fight for a good reason, because they've watched me through my career. They think, nah, Nigel, and I get that. I get that. Then you get the other idiots that didn't want me to fight, like thinking I'm coming back for money. It wasn't nothing to do with money. They don't know me. I know me. And it wasn't about the money. It was about, you know what it is, that because all through my career, I never had peace. I think to myself, I look back at the only time I actually had peace was when I was training. Because when I would come out of training, it's like all the demons just come and just want to be around me. And I had a lot of people around me that I can't say they lead me down. I followed them, but I actually enjoyed my time with them, living in ministry. But now I actually have total peace. But I had, through my career, I never had peace. I have peace now, and I can watch both of my sons box, so I'm happy about that.
Let's come on to that. Obviously, Harley had a win a couple of weeks ago. Conor's out in action at the end of this month. So, yeah, talk to me about them. You've obviously been keeping in close contact with them. How are they?
Yeah, you know, I love both of my sons, and you know what, and I'm watching Harley improve in every fight. You know what I mean? He's getting better and better, and you know, and now he's a DJ, following his dad's footsteps. You know what I mean? So I'm happy that he's doing really well. He's just started off, he's just a bit behind Conor, doing really well. And so, yeah, just more strength to be more dedicated, you know what I mean? You know, just be careful that you don't end up burning the candle at both ends like I did. And I think he's very talented. And I've watched him, he's got a good jab, he's got good movement. Yeah, very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, like I said, I remember that first press conference that you had when you sat on the table with Conor and Eddie Hearn, and you pretty much said to Eddie Hearn, look, I'm not always going to be around here. You know, I'm pretty much leaving my son in your hands, and you were completely comfortable in doing that. You come over here like you are now, and you're always here for his fights, etc. But there are a lot of the times where Conor's going to have to kind of find his own feet.
He's already found his own feet. He don't need me, mate. It's one thing with Conor. He's so mature. He's 23. Conor is so mature. He's not one of these kind of kids that, you know, oh, Dad, can you know? No, he does it. Conor don't really need me for nothing. The only thing, I'll be honest with you, I come here to help him out. Maybe walk his dogs, clean up his place, because his wife's working, I'll come home. So I try and take stress away from him. That's the only reason why I'm here. So that, you know, so that he can just concentrate. He actually calls me Jeffrey from, you know, like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Jeffrey. So, yeah, the butler, that's what I do, but I don't mind that. I love doing that. I love to make sure that his mindset, because he changes when he gets close near a fight, and you know, and I try and keep all the pressure away from him. So I just concentrate on, like, you know, so that he can just concentrate on his fight. I ain't got to worry about nothing, even walking these dogs or whatever. Because I don't actually see him when he goes training. Not I was meant to meet him. He's meant, you know, you heard me say. He said no, he's going to bed. Then he gets up, he goes to the gym. Then he comes home, he goes to bed, and then he gets up again. So and all I do is just like walk the dogs and do the washing up and do things like that and make sure all his clothes are dry. That's it. Don't bother me. I don't bother. If I can help my son, you know, get to where he wants to be without him getting any stress, I'll do that all day long. But I absolutely think he's a nuts. I actually think that to watch where he is now and how he trains. If I look at how I train and how he trained, I mean, it's like night and day. It's just unbelievable. I mean, he does do me head in, though. It really does my head in. I'm not fighting no more. All right, so I bring in a packet of chocolate biscuits. What does he do? He throws them out. No, don't bring that in me. He really has a go at me. And I've come all the way, like 10,000 miles over here. I buy me food, a bit of junk food. I'm on my diet now. My week always starts on a Monday. So before the Monday comes, I'll have a lot of rubbish. But he throws it all out. He goes absolutely, he loses the plot. And I think to myself, I come over here, do what you want me to do, but I can't have some chocolate biscuits. I'm serious. I'm not laughing. He loses the plot. No, it makes me anything in there he won't have. I've got to have stuff all in before I come in there. Because he checked the room, he checked my bag. And he has a go at me. But And I love him for it. I said, Dad, you're just eating too much. You can't have that sugar, Dad. You've got to cut that out. So he's looking after my health as well. Stop it, son. You're the son, I'm the dad, not the other way around.
You wouldn't always think that, seeing you two when you're around each other. Nigel, I do want to ask you about last weekend, not the weekend just gone, the weekend before that, because we saw something special in Las Vegas with Tyson Fury and his rematch with Deontay Wilder. What was your kind of take on the situation over there?
What was my take on it? So you got to watch Fury. You watch him. There's no point trying to hit Fury in the head. He's got good movement. He moves, he bobs, he moves, and you can see Deontay Wilder throwing a punch. Yeah, he's about to throw one from South Africa. He don't throw them straight punches. And Fury knew what he was going to do. But what impressed me about Fury, he set about him. Right? And that's what he's got in his mind. And you know what? And I take my hat off for Fury, because you know what it is? Not just his dedication from having a lot of mental health issues, which I take my hat off to him, but for him then to go in there and say, I'm going to set about him. He didn't go in there mucking around. He set about him and he gave it to him. And then you got Wilder saying, my outfit. Really? I've seen you come out with so many that outlandish outfit. What the hell are you thinking? What the hell? No, it's like something like Gary Glitter would wear. I'm sorry about that, mate. But it's the outfit that he's wearing. Oh, my gosh. That's no excuse. But I think that Fury do the same thing again. And you know what it is? The confidence that Fury's got, he's just belief in himself. So, well done, mate. Take my hat off to you.
Obviously, Deontay Wilder, we found out last night, will exercise his right to have the third fight, which will most likely take place in the summer, in July. So,
the same way.
But you can't blame Deontay Wilder for wanting to kind of avenge that defeat and have a chance of winning his belt back, surely. I know a lot of people have been...
Yeah, I believe that, but what's he going to do differently? What is he going to do? For all his fights from day dot, he was losing against Ortiz, he was losing against all of them. The big punch. And Fury's the only one that shows how to nullify it and see it coming. All of them kind of never saw it coming. He sees everything coming, and he's got this move that you watch him when he's on the pads. He swivels, he bobs and weaves, he's got good movement. Smart man.
A fight that we're probably not going to see next, obviously we're not going to see this next, but now as all the belts at heavyweight are in the UK, we do want to see Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua.
100%. 100%.
You know what I'm going to ask you. Yeah. Who do you? I know you. Listen, I know you. Obviously, a fan of both, but is there one you edge towards than the other?
Well, you see, yeah, I do, but I'll keep that to myself, and I'll tell you later for why. But the difference is, you see, I think you know what it is. Fighting Fury, because Fury's got this good shimmy. You got to watch him. He's got good movement. He shimmies. And you know, he gets under people's skin. Not what he talks about. He believes in what he talks about. But his movement, his shimmy, and he's a good mover. And you know what it is? I was thinking to myself, who moves like him? I put him on the level of Muhammad Ali in a day, even though I wasn't a big fan of Muhammad Ali's. But I think like the way that he moves, he's got good movement. He's like the best heavyweight around for movement. How he just turns his shoulder. Got great movement. Great movement.
Okay, well, listen, I'm not going to push you on an answer for that because obviously I wouldn't give an answer on that myself. But listen, sometimes let's sit on the fence.
We can do it off camera.
We can do it on camera, sit fence and let it play out when it happens. But kind of someone else in this is Dillian Whyte. Who I know obviously you're very close to yourself, but he's in a situation now as well where he has to wait until 21 Feb.
I'm actually peed off for him. This guy's like been waiting around for years. And you know what? And he put up a good fight against Anthony Joshua. You know what it is, and everybody that he's fighting, he's pulled through. And yet, I don't know. I think it's just taking the mickey out of him. This guy should have been fighting for a world title at least a year and a half, 2 years ago. And he's got to wait, and he's, you know what I mean? I take my hat off to him for being patient. And you know, well, Eddie Hearn is a man that should be really looking after Dillian Whyte. He's with him, isn't he? Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, you got to look after everybody fair and square, mate. And he's been around. You know what? He deserves a world title shot, not 2021, 2020. That's what I believe. You know, he's done really well to get where he is now.
He's going to be fighting Alexander Povetkin on May the 2nd in Manchester, and he'll probably fight again this year. But he's got that kind of... he's taking risky fights that kind of could jeopardise his world title shot. So, but that's the kind of fights that Dillian Whyte's been taking.
Yeah. I really want to just talk about my son, to tell you the truth. That's because I could talk about everybody else. My son is a nut. You know, Conor, I believe in 18 months he'll be world champion. I've just been watching him in the gym, you know, in some of the things that he does, you know, I can talk about everybody else. You know, I'd rather talk about my son. I mean, Harley's he's got a way to go yet, but Conor, in 18 months' time, I believe he's going to be world champion. The things that he does is just absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely. I just love what he does. I can't fault him in anything. The only thing I can fault him in, I think that he trains too hard. It's every day, like, I only do 3 days of training, but then he says, Evander Holyfield said, well, yeah, I can do all that training as long as that he goes home and then he rests and sleeps. Before, I remember we used to be driving around in his range all over the place, but now what he does after training, straight at home, sleep, and then he comes in, I watch him spar. I hated sparring. I watch him spar, and I think to myself, and I watch Conor go through people. He's just full on in the way that Tony and Don trains him. I don't know. I can't fault him. He's just dedicated. It's the dedication between me and him. I'm here, even though I was dedicated. It's completely different. We never had the food that we eat and the training that he does. I couldn't do. I mean, I remember when I used to fight. Yeah, go on, Nigel. Don't eat at night. Just have a lemon, squeeze it in the glass, and have that at night. That's it. And don't drink no water. Now they're saying drinking 3 litres of water a day, 5 little meals a day. We never had that. We'd always go in and ring like that. A bit dry. Just sip it and spit it out. What? Completely different. How they're understanding the body more compared to when we were fighting. But like I said, my son will be world champion in 18 months. I was watching Garcia fighting on Saturday. I think, well, all right. Conor's not far behind. By the time he's 25, I think he'll be world champion.
When you look at kind of the fights that Conor's had in his career, he's had the good kind of variety of learning fights, isn't he? In especially that fight he had, the first fight with Cedric Paynard, which was a real eye-opener for him, and it probably kind of has improved him as a fighter, no doubt.
Improved him? What are you talking about? It's completely different. Look where he's going now. Some of the fights that he's had, these guys that you see, the last 2 fights, they've been the distance with some of these world-class fighters. Once Conor's got the strength from him, because what you've got to understand, he fought Killer something in Scotland. And Conor would throw punches like that. Like he's hitting with his handbags. Now Conor's knowing how to punch properly. He's growing into a man completely different. He's excelling. It's not even like, he needed them fights. Excuse me. You've got to understand, I got put down by Watson. No, I didn't get put down by Eubanks. I took a good pasting from him. Then I got put down by Joe McClellan. So it's nothing wrong with going down. It's just like you don't like being down there, but sometimes it's nice to think, you experience that, and then you adapt. Look how far he's adapted since he's had that fight with Paynard. He's gone on from strength to strength, from glory to glory. No, he's going places, mate. I'm telling you, a lot of people might doubt him and think, he's a bit chinny. No, they all said I was chinny. And I wasn't.
No, but that's what I was saying. He's, as a result of that fight, it's made him a better fighter.
Absolutely. Yeah. He come home, you know what it is? It's so funny, he's so much like me. We went home and he shed a tear. He shed a tear and people think, we should have lost that fight. I should have lost the first fight against Malinga, but I didn't. I got the decision, you know, hometown boy. And that's it. But you know what I mean? That's what happens. And what I like about it, because he knew that it affected him, he's gone on and think, well, you know what? No, I'm dedicated. He's so focused now, and he's gone from there. So them fights that he's had, he's learned so much. And what he does is to watch him listen to Tony and Don, and well, especially Tony, to sit down and just listen to everything that Tony tells him to do, he does. He don't cut no corners. Not even with the food. Does my head in. How can you weigh spinach and all everything? He weighs everything that he eats. And then, like, you know, and I said, I'll try it. I thought, no, I'll make my own con. He's just, I can't do what he does. Oh, yeah, I can't do what he does. I'm just so proud of him, really am. I'm excited just to be here. My wife actually, because I'm here till June, she's letting me stay here, you know. Thank you, Caroline. You know, so yeah, I'm blessed.
Well, it said Conor's out in action at the end of the month on the card of Kelly and Avenetian at the O2. So,
yeah, I think Kelly's got. I've never seen his Ebenezer, but I've heard.
Avenetian, yeah, he's a very good fighter. Yeah.
What did I say? Ebenezer? Oh, did I get it wrong? Was it
I was going to say Ebenezer something.
Yeah, all right, something like that. Same. Yeah, I heard he's a tough guy.
Yeah.
But I think as long as you know, Josh gets his movement, he's got good movement, but he's got to be able to do that for 12 rounds. And if he can do that for 12 rounds, it'd be great to see him win. Not lose, see him win, but make sure he's got a lot in his tank, because I watched a couple of these fights, after about rounds 6 to 8, starts flagging. He's got to be able to keep that movement, because he's got brilliant movement. And I think, why not? Why can't he do it? I just pray to God that he does get through it.
All right, well, listen, I know you've got things to be getting on with today, so I appreciate your time here at Pro 8 Gym. Good gym this is. And thank you for the guys here having me down.
What we can do is, now that I've started this training, I've got like 10 weeks of this, so I'm going to let you take a picture of me, just with my pants on, see what I look like now, and then you can do...
Yeah. Can we put the picture in this video now, or is it just for my...
No, everyone call me a fat twat. No, I'm doing that.
Just for my records, basically, personal record.
You put it on, you put it on there, mate, and I'll see you flashing me around. I'm coming to fight you. I'm telling you, I'll come out of retirement.
Careful your shoulders, mate.
Don't worry about it. I got a good Swede.
Yeah, let's do that, and we'll kind of see it after that.
Okay, mate, yeah.
Nigel Benn, thank you very much for talking to
all day
iFull
long,
TV,
baby,
and we'll catch up with you before Conor's fight
100%.
at the O2.
100%. Good, mate. Yeah, we'll do that. You ain't got his arms in there, though.
Oh, I ain't got wide lens. That's what. He might have just to get it out. Right, we're just picking this back up here. Nigel?
Yeah, I just want to bring my new trainer in, Rich, because he's 62 years old.
63 today.
63,
yeah.
63. Look at the size. Look at him guns. You have a look at him guns. I'm going to show you a picture of him as well, and he's natural. So we're just going to go and take a picture. When I leave, you're going to show you the picture outside, just to show you, because I thought to myself, I've always wanted to be a bodybuilder. Back in the day, Mike Mentzer, Danny Padella, Tom Platz, Sergio Newsy, Bertil Fox, Arnold, Frank Zane, all of these boys, that was like around when I was around. And I've got the opportunity now, not to be big. I don't want to wear all in multicoloured swap shop pants and all that. No, I mean, I don't want none of that. I just wanted to get me in. I wanted to get me in shape so I'm ripped. So when I go home, till June. So my wife's going to look at me and go, oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, hallelujah. No fat on me, mate. So I'm looking forward to it.
Rich, do you want to just kind of give us a little rundown of what's been going on here?
Yeah. So today is your first session, as I call the foundation, set the baseline in. Yeah. Had a great time, didn't you?
Yeah.
You certainly did, yeah.
I had a good time, mate.
Yeah.
Look, but I want these, look, natural. I want these. I can't show you mine now, but I want them.
It'll come. It all takes time. Obviously, there's key factors you've got to sort out. Yeah. Food is number one. Yeah. Everyone forgets that or neglects it. Yeah. So we're looking at your food, look at your training, and the lifestyle we're going to have fun. We're going to train hard, but you're going to have fun as well. I know you're a funny guy because a few comments you've been saying.
No, we've been having a laugh already. I only just met him. We've already been having a laugh, and then he got me doing these squat things because I can't do it because of my shoulders and all that. And he's just like absolutely.
But really, he can. He's wimping out at the moment, that's it. But no.
That wasn't a nice word to say, mate. I thought I was doing really good.
No, really, seriously, though. Well, you've got to get your shoulders sorted out.
Yeah.
Once they're sorted, we're on the road. But meanwhile, there's a lot of things we can do in the background.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to this journey.
Yeah,
It's going to be a great journey.
Absolutely.
Your mindset's on it.
Yep.
And so am I.
Yeah, good.
Okay, Nigel Rich, thank you very much for ferrying us down here at Pro 8 Gym here in Rayleigh, and we'll keep us posted, and we'll keep.
Right, when you walk out there, before you walk out there, I want you to get the camera and then just show you what he looks like out there on the wall. All right? Nice one.
Thank you very much.